when is it failing and when is it time to quit? So, my name is Christian, lovely to meet you, and I have failed at more things than I would care to admit. So many things across the years, and right now failing all the time trying to do stuff. But I'm also the person that has achieved some of the highest grades, beating most Oxbridge and candidates, run a 6 and 7 and almost 8, or soon to be 8-figure company. I'm a national level athlete. I'm an Ironman. The list goes on about the potential achievements of which you could look through the lens to my life. But you could also write the same story about failures. And so when does a failure become the right time to quit? And I spend a lot of my time doing sales, right? And so today I was talking to a student, and specifically in maths and physics, a test or an experiment is a fantastic way to get to the right answer if you're not certain, because you can put in a starting point and it will give you an answer. And from there you can go, oh, that was too much this, too much that, in the wrong direction, it's too high or too low. Let me try again with a different input. That is not a failure. That's an experiment and a test, which is going to aid in your overall goal that you're trying to achieve. And that's the trick. Failure isn't about whether you win a specific battle or task or sale. You know, a no isn't a failure, it's clarity. That person had a situation that wasn't right for your service or product, which gives you then your time back and you don't waste it, and then you can move on to the next one, right? And it's the same thing with everything. As long as you continue to remember the reason or what the end goal actually is, if you fail a test or an experiment, that might just mean that the one that you started off with wasn't the right input for the output you're looking for. But it hasn't mean you've failed. You'll only do that if you stop. And so as long as you remember what that goal is in mind, like as an example, we're trying to scale the sales side of our company to have a replicatable, consistent flow of new students coming into the company. As soon as we crack that, we've got nothing stopping us going up to 8 figures a year, because we have the systems in place for the fulfillment, which is fantastic. And so the way I've been going about it right now is to build a sales team, and I've had 3 separate attempts this year hiring 25 sales guys and girls. And we haven't hit the nail perfectly right on any attempt yet, but every time we've learned something new. Now, is it the time to stop trying to build that sales team? Yes or no, maybe. If we had the finances to keep doing it, I'd keep stabbing at it, right? But now what we're trying to do is do it more systematically. So rather than going all in, like, here's a whole new sales team of 6 to 10 people, let's go. This time what we're going to do is just increase the leverage. So replace one system, one cog in the system at a time, that's either automated or with an individual, so that we only have to do one thing slowly to increase the leverage on our time so that we're more impactful. And then from there, we'll probably increase the prices and go to a more premium service or go after a more premium client. Now, will that get to the same result in the long run? Yes. Is it potentially slower if everything were to go right? Is it potentially slower? Yes. But is it more likely to work and less likely that the test results in failure? Also yes. Is that a good trade-off? I don't know. I think so. And once we're there, then increasing the discrepancy between the lifetime value of a customer and the cost to acquire them makes the business more profitable. And so as difficulties and problems become more difficult and problematic, there are more variables in which you can change. And so your end goal might still be the same thing, but don't necessarily be so attached to the specific path or that one specific test that you're trying as the way to get there, because there might be alternatives. And just because one didn't work doesn't mean that none of it will. So the easiest way to go about this is to find people who have done it before, who have what you are looking to do, and ask them how they did it and see if it will work for your situation. And here's a pro tip. The most successful people in life won't find something successful and go, oh, that won't work for me, I'm a special snowflake. What they'll do is, great, that's fantastic. How can I make that work for my situation? What needs to change? So rather than it can't, what would be required to make it work? That's the question. So the parting takeaway for you today is a no isn't a failure, it's clarity. A test coming up with a negative result isn't failure. It's one step on the journey to getting to the right answer, as long as you use that piece of information. Don't keep banging your head against the same wall, not changing anything. That is stupid. All right, guys, been a real pleasure. Have a good one. Peace.